guys, I'm going to use the whiteboard today in this weekly message, and I just want to talk to you about the proving ground I mentioned last week. I say life is a proving ground for the simple reason that Adam and Eve were in a garden. They were the whole human race, two people, and God gave them a garden to live in. And it was a proving ground too, because he said, hey, there's a tree there that I don't want you to eat of. You can eat of all the others. You can eat of the tree of life, but don't eat of that one tree. And they proved what they cared about more, God and loving him, following him, or their own will, right? So Jesus came along and he took care of all the effects of that fall that Adam and Eve brought to us. And that spiritually returns every human being back to what I call the proving ground. And I'm just going to illustrate the proving ground like a record. I'm just going to make it look kind of like a flat record, okay? And we can call this earth life, all right? And it's a proving ground. Now, because of Jesus and what he did, everybody on the proving ground has been reconciled to God. Did you know that? God is not angry with anybody because the sin's been paid for. We always talk about people, they did this, they did that. God is going to punish them in hell forever and ever. There's no more punishment. The punishment was meted out upon his son upon the cross, who took care of the sin of the world once and for all. So, the whole world, from this extreme on this end to this extreme on this end, has been reconciled to God. Okay? And then this is the earth's proving ground of life. God has given all of us life, everybody. And he says, live it as you want. You have the freedom to choose, just like Adam and Eve. Eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Go to do this. Live your life barbarously. Take advantage of people. Hurt other people. Rape, pillage, torture. Or choose to do my will. Seek me diligently. And it's up to you. Now, above that, we have the heavenly realm. I meant to make those the same size. Okay? This is the heavenly realm. And because of Christ reconciling to God the whole world, everybody goes to the heavenly realm. And there are apparently areas within that heavenly realm that have to do with what you chose to do in the proving ground. Okay? God isn't punishing anymore. Hell has been cast into the lake of fire. Satan's over with. We're all responsible for our own acts. And so everybody down here, I'm going to use this dot to represent a person. Person. This person over here decides they want to live for God. They die, and they go to the kingdom. And that's their heavenly realm. It's called the New Jerusalem, right? And then this person right here, they believed in God, but they really didn't do much of his will. Maybe they go here, which is just outside that kingdom. Can they get in that kingdom? I don't know. There's gates that are open day and night according to Revelation. So, believers who proved in the proving ground that they had faith and love, they go to his kingdom. I'm going to put a K there. But outside of it, is other realms, it appears. And this person, let's say here, was horribly evil, hated God, hated man, took their life and just did terrible things. So, well, maybe they're going to go out to this place. Is it still a heavenly realm? It's still a heavenly realm, but it's way outside of where God dwells, which is in his kingdom. Okay? This is how the proving ground is. So, if I go to a funeral to speak for somebody, I bring them the great news. The good news was, to the people in Jesus' day, believe and receive him and you won't go to hell. The holding place. You won't be under Satan's spell. All that is true. But in the age of fulfillment, when Christ has done everything victoriously, now if you go to a funeral and someone says, well, my son didn't believe in God and he was a biker who did terrible things, you can say, they've been reconciled to God. They went to a heavenly realm. The mother might say, well, Does that son who has gone to a heavenly realm and is abiding in spiritual darkness, does he have a chance to get to this place where God is? It seems so. I don't know how. I don't know what it would take. I don't know how miserable it might be. Perhaps they are filled with darkness and they have to progress toward this kingdom of light that's in the center, and that burns them out. The purgatory that the Catholics talk about, we don't really know. It's all conjecture. But what's not conjecture are the following: that this life is a proving ground, that God through his Son has been reconciled to the world, that all people will go to a heavenly realm according to Revelation chapter 20 and John's description of it. Some are inside the kingdom and some are out. God is good. He tells us to forgive 7 times 70. He tells us to be long-suffering. He tells us to be patient and kind. I submit that he's the same. But he will reward everybody according to what they did in this life. On that, I think you can take to the bank. You guys have a great week. We love you. For them, they decided whether they would follow God's will or they would follow their own. I believe that Jesus brought all of us back to a proving ground state, and that I stand by Galatians 6:7, where God says, where Paul writes, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a person sows, that he shall also reap." Those are 7 things I stand on today. You guys have a great week. We love you.